Hey there, Reptile Rescue family. What are we going to do today? We're going to talk about, I think I've talked about this before, but we're going to talk about giving a bearded dragon a bath. Particularly, this is one dirty bearded dragon. So, real quick, which one of my bearded dragons do you think this is? Well, the thumbnail is probably in there, so that's not going to make it better. But yes, it's Mongo. He's already pissed. Now, what is wrong with Mongo here? Why is he very dirty? Well, guys, look at his foot. Poop. There's his tail. Poop. So we have to talk about this. He has a male bearded dragon, which means he has femoral pores. So we typically are giving him a bath, a warm bath, 1 to 2 times a week, sometimes 3 to 4. It depends on how big his pores are getting. So this is a lukewarm bath. We're going to go ahead and put him in because we want this to soak. That way we can then use our toothbrush, soft bristle toothbrush, to clean that off. So we're going to want to do this bath in at least 2 phases. And that's very important for everyone to know while we're getting this poop off of him. So what are the phases? What do you mean by that? Okay. Phase 1, we want to soften this poop. That way we can then use our toothbrush. It's just a normal soft bristle toothbrush. Nothing's bad. And we're going to scrub them. I want to break down all that poop. So this water is going to become dirty. But remember, he's got those pores. We're going to make sure phase 1, we scrub around the pores too. All the poop off of between all the fingers, his whole underbelly. If he had poop on himself, we would get that on the top as well, but he doesn't, so that's fine. This water is going to become poopy. We're going to take him out. I'll actually just sit him in the sink. Empty sink, but you can put yours anywhere. I'm just not going to dry him. We're going to dump this water, rinse the bin, refill it with warm water, and now we have our relatively clean dragon, and we're going to put him in for an actual long soak, 30 minutes-ish, in nice, clean water. What is important here if you have your bearded dragon in a bath like this? So there's the potential that your bearded dragon likes to drink the water in the bath. Normally, perfectly safe. When you first put them in like this, if they're drinking a little bit, that's okay, because this poop is really hard. It's really contained to this area. He pooped an hour or 2 ago, and then he just baked it underneath his heat. That's okay. That's fine. But once you get to scrubbing, and this becomes a nice diarrhea soup, we don't want them drinking that water. Okay? So we're going to make sure that if your bearded dragon drank, Mongo normally does not. If he drinks in the bath, he or she, during that diarrhea soup time, you do your best to prevent that. And you wait and you let them drink the second time they come in and go from there. Now, if this was really hard and crusty and multiple layers, it might need 3 or 4 cycles, meaning scrub as much off as I can, take him out, refresh the water, soak him, scrub as much water as I can, take him out, soak him, and then that last long 30-minute-ish soak is always the final soak in the water. Okay? Okay. Now that he's been in here for a little bit, though, we should be good to go. And what I like to do, zoom in, is kind of identify the areas that need to be cleaned. This, that. A little bit of his stomach. How do we do these cleanings? Okay, very simple. Toothbrush, like I talked about. I get the toothbrush wet. I just scrub it a little bit against the bottom. And you'll do that too while you're scrubbing them. If this is getting a little poopy, just nice little scrub against the bottom and go. Okay, so I'm going to slide him forward so that way the problem area will be there. And we're going to just lift the tail up. Now, you want to be mindful about the base here because you don't want that to lift up too high. That can hurt your dragon. But just something like this, see where it's starting to lift up his back legs? That means we're kind of at the peak lift of the tail. And in fact, I'm going to swap and use my backhand just so I'm not covering. And we're just going to scrub. That's all. Clean it off. Nice and scrub. And the poop is disappearing before our very eyes. Now, if you have a bearded dragon that gets mad, there is the potential that during this, your bearded dragon can get mad at you and can try to poop on you and be very mad and try to poop. So just keep that in mind. If he lifts his tail up on his own all of a sudden and he's trying to poop, we're just going to let him poop and then we'll move on. That's not necessarily a bad thing to happen because then he's pooped in here and not in his tank, which is really good. All right, so I'm going to scrub him down and I'm going to show you, I'm going to cut back when we're all scrubbed. All right, guys, here's an important tip when you get to the feet. You only want to scrub in one direction, the direction the toes are going. You don't want to come back because you don't want to bend the toes. You don't want to break the toes. So we're going to scrub this way. And when we're doing the bottom, same thing. We're only going to scrub in the outside direction. Even though when I do the stomach or the underbelly, I'm typically going back and forth. For the feet, you just go in the one direction, not the band. All right, now Mongo is all scrubbed down, his body, the back, everything like that. But now what do you do if your bearded dragon has a little shashputz here on his face? Right there. We're not going to bring the toothbrush in for this. We're actually going to get Q-tip. Yep, nice and easy. And I'm going to get it wet with water, just straight from the sink, not with this little bit of poopy water in here. It's just a little cloudy. And we're going to take the Q-tip, and we're just going to go in, and he could have calcium powder, multivitamin powder, juice from a berry, and they don't always have this, so you may not have to do this. But in Mongo's case, he does, and it looks like he had some raspberry juice on there. So we're just going to wipe it off gently. You can see the Q-tip, see how it's changing color? It's got a little bit of a bink right there, and we're just going to get rid of it. All right, and that came off nice and clean, really good to go. Throw that Q-tip away. Now, we need to change this water out. All right, here's our bin with the nice clean water. Now we can get Mongo, and we can put him in, and then we can just leave him in here to soak. Again, what's important with bearded dragons is always make sure the water is at least deep enough to cover the back legs, even on females, because you want to cover the vent, and you want to cover femoral pores. And Mongo is straining, which means he may want to take a poop. Remember we talked about this? There's his anger poop. Yeah, great. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, yeah. Anyways, in today's video, the keyword, if you guys stayed this long, what is the keyword to call out today? The word is hi, Mongo. That's right. Comment hi, Mongo as a separate comment. If you want to say something else after, comment hi, Mongo, and then leave the other comment as a separate piece. Very good. God bless it, dude. Look at him taking deep breaths, too. You know why he's taking deep breaths like that? Because he forced this out right here. That's why. Big urate. All right, guys. I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to have to deal with this. Ugh.